So, coming to you on the dawn of the penultimate week of placement. So, in the last vlog, I was chatting about, or I touched upon the condition of ADHD and sort of pondering if I may have it. So, things have, moved on a little bit since then. We had a workshop, like a multidisciplinary. No, there's the word. It's Sunday night. My brain's like, hello, you in there? Multidisciplinary workshop to update some of Joe's materials, and two fellow professionals were there who experienced ADHD, a man and a woman. So we had junior doctor Toby, and we had Claire, who's an occupational therapist. And pretty much everything Claire was saying about how she experiences ADHD, I was resonating with a lot. And so much so, it freaked me out, to be honest, because I was pondering, do I, don't I, beforehand. And then after that workshop, I was thinking, oh my gosh. So then I remember, chatting to a couple of people after, saying, hey, I think I might have this thing, and ADHD. And then their response was, yeah, we think you do too. Chatting to my partner about it as well. He's going, yeah, that would make sense why you do X, Y, Z. It just felt so weird. I remember it was Thursday evening, and I just felt super mind boggled, uncomfortable. I felt very unsettled because if I do have it, then this gives me such a different narrative of why my personality is why it is. And I actually felt bereft. And it was a sense of kind of like grief of that, but then also not knowing for definite. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to try and get an assessment to confirm or deny if what I think is correct is correct. So hearing about all of the waiting lists and stuff like that, I looked into maybe going private. I also rang my GP surgery. Of course, there was no appointments. Well, I tried to email. There was an email function that said, ask your doctor a question. So I did that. The question was, can I get access to an ADHD assessment? Because I think I have it. Or I think I might have it. And they were like, oh, you need to ring the triage line. Of course, I ring that. They're like, yeah, there's no appointments. You need to ring back on Monday morning at 8 a.m. with probably the rest of Reading, where I am based. So that's what I'll try and give a go tomorrow, and that will probably go on for a few days, etc., etc. So now I'm left in the unknowing stage, trying to piece together if this is relevant for me. And lots of people ask the question, what difference does it make if you have a diagnosis or not? And to me, it's access to treatment. If there are medications that can help me with things like everything's making sense in a different regard. Like there's a couple of uni assignments coming up next year that I'm just absolutely dreading because they sound so friggin' tedious and boring. And I know that I'm going to have to trick and convince myself in all kinds of ways to be able to, sit myself down and do them. And I've done that. I've done that for the majority of my degree when I found things very boring, and I have to do it the same when there's, very boring things going on at work and stuff. So like I guess I do know how to manage this well enough. But if there's other things that are available that can take the, I don't know, like the pressure off of me a little bit or help towards something a little bit, I know that there's no magic pill for anything. Nor do I want there to be at all, really. But if I can have that understanding of myself and then have some options, that could be really cool. And that could also give me the next step in that if I've got this thing, then I can go into exploring what that means for me and how I can maybe have access to different strategies. At the moment, I'm just sat kind of like not knowing and feeling like I don't know myself. I think that was what was shocking for me because it's pretty much like someone's come along and said, you have peroxide blonde hair, right? And you always have. And I'm like, what? No, I thought I have like dark brown hair. Dark brown hair, so it's kind of light brown, like fudge colour. And this is what I've always seen my hair as. So now I don't know, there's a different narrative for me, perhaps. And I'd like to know, and I'd like to know sooner rather than later. I don't want to wait for months and months. So yeah, we'll see how I get on with the GP, and I'll probably look into private options, and I'll probably keep this vlog going to just talk about it. I think this is veered off into, I'm not necessarily talking about like my next week and what's going to happen and whatever. I might do a different vlog for that. But it's very much about how, I think when we're training to be healthcare professionals, all of a sudden we've got access to lots of medical information in terms of research and diagnostic criterias and multidisciplinary professionals who are working with alongside as well. So you really get to be sort of see the inside of health, um, which is fantastic. But then you start to discover things about yourself. So I didn't know anything about ADHD, really nothing about it. Maybe what, until about 3 weeks ago. I feel like these courses should come with a health warning, you know. The counselling ones do. The counselling ones make it really explicit. They get you to think about what you've got in your life in terms of support systems, and like it's so explicit in that the counselling training, if it's good thorough training, is absolutely going to turn your life upside down, because the things that you learn about yourself in such an intimate way. And I truly believe that you absolutely need to do that. So yeah, like it was written in contract, like before everybody signed all the training, and you had to proper think about it. Whereas didn't get that for these courses, and I'm sat here like just reeling a bit, to be honest. Um, Not in a like, oh, woe is me, no one prepared me for it. But I've got the skills, resources, whatever to deal with this, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But it is very unsettling to learn those things about yourself, having access to all this info. So yeah, maybe just a note for the health training courses to maybe a reflective exercise at the beginning of uni could be quite useful. So there's some advice for you, unis. Or students are going to be sat there like me now going, I have a thing, maybe, maybe not. And then, yeah, the waiting and stuff to be diagnosed. That's another thing I'm still sat with, although it's probably true because I can kind of feel it in my gut. And, you know, having the advice from other people who know me going, yeah, probs. I also don't want to, I don't know, convince myself I've got something that I don't. It's all very confusing. Confused. That's where I am. Confused. Yeah, that's where I am with that. I want to keep these vlogs up to date in terms of how the assessment process goes, or how I get on with it, whether I go private, whether I end up sticking with the NHS or whatever. Oh, just the thought of the waiting. The waiting. Is that the ADHD? Is it a personality trait? Is it both? Who knows? Who knows? That's where I am. I wanted to share my honest bemusement at my own existence. So there we are. That's all for now. I might do a vlog more focused on the actual placement. I might not. Don't know. Haven't decided. Confused. That's it. Just me being confused. Oh, thanks for watching. If anyone watches this.